Peace, welcome. I'm so happy that you are here, that you exist. And in this video, in this podcast, we're going to talk about how to become radically responsible. So I wrote some points down because becoming radically responsible is how we can shift into more emotional sovereignty. One, no longer trying to manipulate others to get what we want or manipulate things and experiences around us in order to get our best possible outcome. Becoming radically responsible puts you in the driver's seat and has you thinking about what destination you actually want to go to. Not being mad at the GPS for bringing you to the wrong destination when you were the one that put it in. That's radical responsibility. And so the reason why you should be radically responsible is because there's no one to blame, because everyone is you pushed out. If all is one, then you blaming anything outside of yourself is still you blaming yourself and acting like you're not responsible for anything. So we can all be more mature with that and become more responsible. Number 2, releasing the need to be right about current circumstances. So when we're always trying to be right, we're still seeking validation from ourselves or someone outside of us. But even the act of seeking validation shows that someone else has the responsibility to validate us, and or even a part of ourselves, like usually our ego, has that responsibility. And that's not the case. We want to look at things in terms of holistic essence. And when we become more radically responsible, we see how we've gotten into certain situations. We see how we can get ourselves out of certain situations. Because every solution has a problem hiding in it, and every problem has a solution hiding in it. It's not an issue when we have a solution and then now there's something else that comes up and it's like, oh, okay, like that may be tricky, we need to figure this out. It's always a cycle, and that's why we're here on earth, to learn how to move through these cycles without blaming, without negating the fact that everything's not going to be cookie cutter and straightforward. There's nuance, there's complexity, and making room for that. So your perception of everything and anything shapes how you perceive it. Actually, okay, let me reread that. Your perception of everything and anything shapes how you experience it. So yes, it shapes how you perceive it, but more importantly, it shapes how you experience it. If you look at, say, you losing your job, right? For example, someone loses their job and they're looking at it like, oh my gosh, now I have all these bills that I need to pay. This is due. These people are gonna be mad at me that I lost this, that. Even though something in the back of your head was saying, hey, like, I want to explore different opportunities. I want to see what my gifts and skills are and see how I can apply it for myself and with others without a middleman. That shifts your perception. And so our perception of anything really does inherently shift how we experience it. Because when we perceive something, we now have that perception emotionally charged. We know what we want to look at, and we're looking at it, and we're putting emotions towards it. So perception and emotion equals how we experience it, like really experiencing it in our bodies. Ask yourself, if this was exactly how I wanted it to go, how would I act and how would I feel? This really has helped me because it puts me in the driver's seat. I get to choose how I feel about this. I get to choose how I act and hold myself in this scenario. And that puts power in your hands, and it negates the need to blame other people or to hold other people accountable for something that you're experiencing and you can influence. Giving yourself permission. This is rooted in being able to honor, like truly honor what you have going on. Giving yourself permission to grow, giving yourself permission to learn, giving yourself permission to take risks. It's so needed. The highest aspect of you wants to take risks, wants to be so full in life that it's just like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, it may have not worked out, but I did that. Oh, and I did this other thing and it worked out even better. I did that. That's what we are here for, the leading edge of experiences. But we can't feel that excitement, that inspiration when we're not trying to take radical responsibility. So it's a catch-22, even though radical responsibility can feel very uncomfortable in the beginning, because our ego is trying to protect us from that discomfort, protect us from actually having to do something that stretches us. Think of it like this, like if you haven't stretched for a long time, like haven't stretched your body, so you're stretching and you're doing all these things and your body's going to feel a little sore. It's going to feel like, oof, that kind of got me. And the reason for this is because you haven't been stretching those muscles. You haven't been hydrating, nourishing those muscles and tendons. And so now that you're stretching those specific parts, they're saying, hey, I'm awakening. This is good, but you're going to feel it either way. So that's the discomfort that comes up. Choosing to no longer be the victim. To believe and know that you have power over what really matters. So becoming radically responsible is not playing the victim game. That shit is old. No need for it. Because when we play the victim, then we are always looking outside of ourselves for a savior, always looking outside of ourselves for a solution, for a quick fix, and the easy way. But there's really no, hopefully this still works, but there's really no easy way. There's simple ways that can feel easy. But even the easy way, when we're trying to avoid true work, true application of knowledge, then it's defeating the purpose. And so when we take radical responsibility, this victim mindset has to fall away. Because the victim doesn't want to take any responsibility for any part of what's going on. And it's not to say that there's never outside contributing factors. No. However, this is still your life. This is still your experience, and you hold the power of your response and how you view anything in your experience. That's what we're saying. That's what radical responsibility is. Being the center of your own universe, the center of your own life. It's powerful to be here. I was not always here. I was not. I was deep rooted into victim mindset and depressed and thinking that I couldn't do anything to change my life because I was taught that I needed to wait for a savior outside of myself, whether that be somebody in the sky, whether that be a man, whether that be school, the government. Like, I wasn't able to have autonomy, but that is not true. That's actually, it's so very false, and the illusion that all these layers are needed for us to live a radically responsible, beautiful, thriving life lies in the hands of someone but yourself. is just a mental construct to keep us down and weak. And you don't have to subscribe to that. And so let's just dive into this specific part. So, yes, we're choosing no longer to be the victim, to believe and know that you have the power over what really matters. What you think matters turns into matter. What you think matters turns into matter. This is materialization. This is manifestation. When you're thinking, projecting your energy, your thought energy, your psychic energy into the field, the quantum field, outside and within you, because it permeates each and every one of us. When we think these thoughts, they condense into matter. Even if it's not instant, they condense into matter with experiences with other people who are made up of matter. They condense into physical material possessions, yes, and they condense into experiences and opportunities. So that's why these things matter quite literally. Like not taking anything for granted. And that's what I had to learn a lot. It's like no longer taking things for granted, being able to truly ground myself in knowing that I am the one power in my universe. No one else can influence me unless I allow it. That, oof. Unless you allow it. That is radical responsibility right there. But why? Why does radical responsibility even matter? Like, why do you have to take responsibility? Why should you hold yourself accountable and hold yourself in high regard when it comes to your life? It's because this is where our sovereignty lies. You can't be free if you won't see how you may have self-imposed limitations. You can't be free. And that's what sovereignty is. Freedom on so many levels. And I love to share about emotional sovereignty. Emotional sovereignty is no longer being ruled by your emotions, no longer being ruled by your triggers, but creating awareness, creating gaps between them so that now you can rise above them. Your soul has more space to be and give you hints and clues in order to do what's next and best for you. Think of yourself as a farmer, an aura farmer. This is cute. I'm reading my notes back and I'm like, oh, I like that. So think of yourself as an aura farmer. Your job is to remove what prevents the seed's full growth and expression, not to blame the seed for its surroundings and environment. So a true farmer just gives the seed optimal environment. It gives the seed an optimal environment to thrive and grow. It doesn't force the seed to grow. It doesn't say, hey, why aren't you growing yet? No, it's giving it space and time. But when we're blaming others, when we're not taking accountability, we're planting seeds that are being pulled up because we're trying to seek some sort of validation, and that never works long term. It never works long term. That is literally a self-imposed limitation. Yeah, that's a self-imposed limitation. So being an aura farmer for your aura, because I know, okay, side note, I know aura farming is a TikTok slang, and like aura, like, oh, you have so much clout, like cool points, all that stuff, right? But think of an aura farmer in this context of your energetic expansion, right? So every single time that you're planting seeds, you keep them there, you water them, you ensure that their environment is optimal. Now your aura is expanding, your aura is growing, and your aura is your energetic impact with everyone in every space, in every scenario that you're in. That's why meditation and grounding and having spiritual practices that really help you lighten your energy is so important. It's so vital. There's not one set of spiritual practices that will work for everyone. Like, no. And a lot of people will try to say, like, hey, it's this one thing. Like, no, everyone has their one thing. But you won't know what your one thing is unless you go within yourself, going into the silence, feeling what is true for you, because it's unique. We all have different intentions, soul intentions that we came to earth for. So we're not all here to do the same exact thing and perceive life the same exact way. So as you're a farmer and you're planting seeds, I know you are, and you're watering them, you're picking them up, you're checking on them every single day. Take responsibility for your crop. Your crop. And evaluate your crop. And the way that you can evaluate your crop is looking at your emotions, looking at your energetic set points, looking at your results, the material, like what has condensed, what has actually condensed. And this is a process, and that I'm still in as well. And as humans on earth, we're probably always going to be in this process, but consciously knowing that being radically responsible it paves the way for true self-sovereignty. Now that's powerful. Peace be with you and in you, and more prosperity. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
I honor God when I honor me. I honor God when I honor you. You honor God when you honor me. If you don't honor God, how could you honor me?